Uh, okay. I'd like to take a moment to review the procedures that the board will follow tonight. First, the board will handle normal housekeeping agenda items. Then for each application on the agenda, I'll open the public hearing on the item. The planning and zoning staff will then present the staff report, including the recommendation. Any letters or other communication received from the public prior to the hearing will be entered into the record. The applicant will then have the opportunity to present his or her case and respond to the staff report. Next, we'll hear comments from the public. If you'd like to speak either in support of or against the Okay, next we'll hear the comments from the public. If you would like to speak either in support or against the application, you must come, that doesn't pertain, just state your name and say over when you're done with your statement. All interested parties shall be heard, but repetition comments should be avoided. Repetitious or irrelevant comments may be ruled out by order of the chair. I ask that you remain respectful and courteous with your comments at all times. After all public comments have been heard, the staff and applicant may make a closing statement. The hearing shall then be closed by motion and vote. Thereafter, no further comments from the staff, public, or applicant may be heard unless asked for by the board. The board shall then deliberate the case and may ask questions of the applicant, the staff, or any party offering testimony. However, such questions do not reopen the hearing for additional comments from the public unless so requested or approved by the board. The board will then formulate and vote on a motion. The motion will typically either grant or deny the requested application. Any board member who has an ex parte communication to place in the record of this meeting should do so prior to the beginning of deliberation of the respective agenda item. Any person desiring to appeal the board's decision to a court of record may do so within 30 days after the filing of this decision with the Planning and Zoning Office. So that's it. Are you going to do a roll call then?
Yes, we'll do a roll call now, and we'll go through the board members. If you just say present, Tom Thiessen.
Present.
Daniel Hare.
Present.
Bob Brulette.
Present.
Pam Clark.
Present.
And Ashley Christensen.
Present.
Okay, it looks like the board has a quorum, and I see one from the public came in, Dustin Steinecke. Are you here, Dustin?
Yes, I am.
Okay, is there anybody else here from the public whose name has not been addressed? Okay, it looks like the board is here along with the applicant, Daniel Steinecke. Okay, Tom, we can move to the next agenda item.
Okay, we wanted to welcome the new members. Were you going to have them introduce themselves, Dan?
Yes, if Pam and Daniel, if you would like to, well, first off, both of you welcome to the board, and we'd like to ask for you maybe to introduce yourself, a nice little introduction. Pam, maybe if you'd like to go first.
I'm Pam Clark, and I live north of Mobile. I've grown up in Iowa my whole life, lived on a farm, basically out in the country most of the time. And I have done a lot of different things in Woodbury County, but I'm currently still managing the senior meal site at Moville and also the office for the Moville for the Record up in Kingsley, and then I write a column for them as well. So I'm married and I have 3 children and 6 grandchildren. So that's about it.
Hey, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course, my name is Daniel Hare. I live south of Moville, about 15 miles, close to the little town of Holly Springs, or I guess what you could say is west of it. And I live here on my grandpa's farm. That he came here in 1944 and bought a farm here in Iowa. And I'm currently farming with my dad and my wife. And my wife's name is Stacy. We also have a little 3.5-year-old son. His name is Marshall. And currently, I'm probably one of the younger members on the board, but I hope to catch on here quickly. And excited to help serve in Woodbury County. As far as anything else that I have done in the county, I am currently a director on the Woodbury County Farm Bureau Board. Other than that, I'm pretty busy here on the farm with my dad and my wife. And our little 3.5-year-old son keeps me very busy too, but we have a good time. So thank you all for the welcome.
Yes, welcome aboard.
Okay, next we need the approval of the minutes for October 5th, 2020 meeting. Do we have a motion on that, or have you looked them over?
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes.
This is Ashley Christensen. I would second that motion.
Okay, looks like we have a motion and second. Discussion. Okay, we'll go ahead and vote by roll call. You will just, once I say your name, just aye or nay, beginning with Tom Thiessen,
Aye.
Bob Brulette. Did you say aye, Bob?
Yes, aye.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
okay. Ashley Christensen,
Aye.
Daniel Hare,
Aye.
and Pam Clark.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Minutes approved.
Okay. Looks like next we have the election of chair and vice chair again. So,
Okay,
do you
Tom.
have any motions on that?
Yeah,
Oh,
Tom.
go ahead.
Yeah, we're on agenda item number 6, and as Tom stated, we do have the election of the chair and vice chair. And just for our new members, as we're at the beginning of January, this first meeting always embarks on the selection of the chair and the vice chairperson of the Board of Adjustment. And kind of under these voice telecommunication framework that we're doing now, the board would basically follow the motion and second of selecting a chair and a vice chair for this year. So I'll turn it back over to you, Tom.
Okay, do you have any motions for the chair?
I'll make a motion to have Tom be chair. This is Bob Briette.
Okay. The second?
I would second the motion. This is Pam.
Okay, we have a motion and second for Tom Thiessen as chair. Discussion. Okay, I'll read off the vote. Tom Thiessen, how do you vote?
Aye, yes.
Okay, Daniel Hare, how do you vote?
Aye.
Bob Brule,
Aye.
Pam Clark,
Aye.
and Ashley Christensen.
Aye.
Okay, Tom Thiessen will be chairperson for 2021.
Okay, now do we have a motion for the vice chair? I would nominate Ashley Christensen this time.
Okay, it looks like we have a motion.
And I'll second Bob.
Okay, Bob seconds. Okay. Okay, do we have any discussion? Okay, we'll go ahead and vote. Tom Thiessen,
Aye.
Daniel Hare,
Aye.
Bob Roulette,
Aye.
Pam Clark,
Aye.
and Ashley Christensen.
Aye.
Okay, Ashley Christensen will serve as chairperson for 2021.
Vice chair.
I guess when it comes to discussion on this, Tom and Ashley held these positions last year just for such a short time where myself, I feel like they should be able to continue on, at least give a year's worth of service support. So, good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
And this is Dave Gleiser. I also just want to echo those comments about, thanks for stepping up and filling in on a pinch. This was kind of a different year. We didn't really anticipate that legislation to pass. And so it was kind of one that snuck up on us, and we lost two members that had been very active and very engaged. And so it was a bummer to lose them. But based on the resumes that Dan and Pam had submitted, I'm quite confident that they're going to do excellent in this capacity. And just want to make sure that that if there's anything that you need from the staff, feel free to let us know. We're a small band here. It's just myself, Dan, and our clerk, Dawn. But if there's anything that you need help with, copies of files or attachments or access to property or whatever you need, just let us know. And Dustin, you're going to have to just bear with us on the formalities. This is a kind of a different for us to do this over the phone. Typically we'd be, in person. So, but if the current members, if you wouldn't mind just doing a real quick introduction of yourself, so the new members kind of have an idea of who they're serving with, that'd be great. And then we'll just move right on into Dustin's application.
Well, I guess this is Bob Briette. I live in the Salix area, have all my life. One of the questions I was going to ask you guys is if you could review how many years of service each of us has left, since there's been 3 new members in such a short period of time. Typically, they expire one every year, don't they? But
yes, we
I
have
live in
them
Salix
staggered.
area. Yeah. So if you could review that afterwards on who's at what expiration date. I don't even know where I'm at on it, but I've been on the Board of Adjustments for a couple of different terms, and it's somewhat gratifying. I mean, there's only so much a person can do, and it's just nice to be a little bit involved. I'm kind of a live and let live mentality myself, as long as we're not doing any harm and we fall within the guidelines of the rules set forth for us. I'm fairly proactive on stuff, so I wish everybody the best.
Okay, thanks, Bob. This is Tom Thiessen. I live just east of Lawton. I've lived in Woodbury County most of my life, and just about my 3rd year on the Board of Adjustment. I guess that's it. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. This is Ashley Christensen. I have been a Woodbury County resident for about 10-ish years. I live northeast of Mobile and support my boyfriend as he does managing a cattle feedlot. We raise horses and have a couple dogs and take a lot of joy in that. So I work for the state of Iowa in the court system and just completed my first year of service on the Board of Adjustment.
Thank you so much for introducing yourselves to everyone. Other than that, I guess we can just go ahead and move right into the variance request. Dan, if you want to take it from here and read some information into the record.
Okay, yes, this is Dan Priestley, and I'll read the staff report on the variance request into the record. Joseph Steinecke has filed this variance application to request that his 1.59 acre lot to be used for his trucking business in the limited industrial zoning district, which requires a minimum of 3 acres, excluding the right-of-way. This property is identified as parcel 8942-351-00010, and it's located in the southeast quarter of the northwest quarter of Section 35, Township 89 North, Range 42 West in the Union Township. The property is addressed at 1548 Highway 31, Correctionville, Iowa 51016. The property is presently located in the Agricultural Preservation Zoning District. Mr. Steinecke has filed a concurrent zoning ordinance map amendment, also known as a rezone application, with the Zoning Commission and the Board of Supervisors. The Zoning Commission reviewed this request last Monday on December 28th, and they voted unanimously to recommend approval to the Board of Supervisors, who are scheduled to receive and review this proposal on January 12th, January 19th, and January 26th. Both the rezone application and the variance application under consideration here tonight are contingent upon one another. The Community and Economic Development Office recommends approval of both the variance and rezone based on the City of Correctionville's comprehensive plan, as well as the ability for the property owner to meet the setbacks for building his proposed 36-foot by 90-foot building to facilitate the trucking operation both under the county and the city regulations. This location is in an area that Correctionville will likely annex and zone as light industrial. If this proposal is approved by Woodbury County, the landowner's lot would be in compliance with Correctionville zoning regulations, including the lot size. Included within your packet is a December 10th letter to the Board of Adjustment by Mayor Heilman of Correctionville, stating, as proposed, the project site plan would comply with the bulk regulations of the city's light industrial zoning district. He also stated that the zoning district has no minimum lot area requirement. Thus, Mr. Steinecke's existing parcel would comport to our zoning code in the event that it is annexed into the city. Steinecke, some background, acquired this parcel, 1.59 acre, on September 17th of 2020, and he was not fully aware of the zoning requirements to facilitate the construction and operation of the trucking business, Silver Steer Trucking Incorporated. After acquiring the property, he removed an existing dwelling that was on the premises and performed dirt and concrete work in anticipation of placing his business at this location. On November 23rd, the Community and Economic Development staff learned from Jeannie Fetro, an appraiser with the Farm Credit Services of America organization, about the project. Steinecke was contacted and informed that this activity could not proceed without the proper permitting. On December 1st, he met with the staff and it was suggested that a zoning ordinance map amendment rezone application be submitted to the Zoning Commission and the Board of Supervisors to address the property use, and a variance be submitted, application be submitted to this board, the Board of Adjustment, to address the lot size. Prior to submitting the application for the variance, Steinecke stated that he contacted the abutting landowner and offered to purchase additional acres to combine with the existing property. However, the owner declined the offer. Since then, Steinecke has signed and provided a sworn affidavit stating that he will continue to make diligent efforts to acquire a minimum of 3 net total acres, minus any road right-of-way, while this property is in the unincorporated area of Woodbury County. The affidavit is within the packet. The request for this variance specifically is to allow a property in this limited industrial zoning district to include 1.59 acres instead of the 3-acre minimum, excluding the right-of-way. That's the central focus of this variance request. The granting of this variance would be contingent on the rezone to the limited industrial zoning district, which is underway. And I will repeat that the Zoning Commission last week have provided the recommendation to the Board of Supervisors, which will begin on the 12th, likely depending on tonight, that they would approve of the rezone from agricultural preservation to the limited industrial zoning district. So the issue at hand here is specific to the size of the lot. And so kind of going through the criteria, it's important that I read into the record that this was published, the legal notification was published in the Sioux City Journal's legal section on December 31st of 2020. The 11 property owners within 1,000 feet and listed on the certified abstractors listing were notified by a December 15th, 2020 letter of the public hearings. As of December 29th, the Community and Economic Development Office had received 7 written comments from the property owners within the 1,000 feet. And those letters are included within the packet, and they are letters of support of the rezone and variance. It's important to note too in your packet, just once again, I'll mention that the Zoning Commission reviewed the rezone criteria, and they do make that recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. In terms of stakeholder contacts, it was referenced that the City of Correctionville, specifically the mayor, had offered the letter of support to the Board of Supervisors and the Board of Adjustment. And of course, other stakeholders who we traditionally notify are listed in the packet on page 13. Mr. Steinecke has worked previously with the Department of Transportation, so everything concerning parcel access appears to be in order and okay. And Mr. Steinecke has worked in conjunction with the Siouxland District Health in terms of wells and septics of that nature, so that information should pretty much be in order. And then going to page 17 and kind of working through the criteria, the staff in a nutshell looked through each of the criteria and finds that that this proposal would be appropriate for approval. I do want to make a note on page 17 that Correctionville's comprehensive plan was adopted on February 11th, 2019. With that said, Tom, it is the recommendation of the staff for approval of the variance. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Yeah, go ahead.
Dustin, this is David Gleiser. Dustin, would you like to make any comments or address the board?
I guess as far as contacting the landowner that butts up to me, I did, like I said previously before I had the meeting with the zoning coordinator, I sat down with him and I did attempt to buy additional acres to come compliant, as well as, be able to have more room to expand there if necessary. And at that time, he had told me at this time he wasn't really interested in selling ground, as far as he had already had his will and everything in order. Yeah, I mean, that's basically in a nutshell, I guess. I kind of left it at that. I didn't feel right about pushing him too hard or anything. I just gonna kind of leave that alone. So I just want to make it known that I did try quite, hard to come compliant as far as my acre count comes.
And I can understand that. I also just to remind folks, Dustin did submit a sworn affidavit that, he would make his best faith efforts in trying to obtain the minimum acreage while he's still in unincorporated Woodbury County, if and when the opportunity becomes available. So he did submit that as part of his application and for the record as well. Also, Dan mentioned that the letter was specifically addressed from Mayor Heilman, but I do know that it was a council action, and they did, the full council approved of that support, that letter of support that the mayor signed off on. Board members, do you have any comments or questions for the applicant?
Yeah, Dustin, this is Tom. How many trucks are you planning to run out of there? Do you know yet, or?
Yeah, I currently own 4 trucks, and I have 5 trailers, and I have an owner operator that pulls the 5th trailer, but he has his own place that he parks his trucks. So it would consist of just my 4 trucks and my 4 trailers.
Okay. What do you haul, grain or livestock, or what are you hauling?
I have a grain trailer and belly dumps. I haul seed for Pioneer all fall long, and then I haul feed ingredients as far as like meal. And then for the belly dump, I haul rock and basically all aggregate, sand, stuff like that. No livestock or anything like that.
No livestock anymore. Okay.
Nope.
Is that, with those 4 units, is that going to give you enough room with that 1.7 acres in your shop, or that was my only concern?
Yep. The way that I had the shop figured up, the shop will hold 6 trucks total, and I mean, I don't, as of now, I don't have any plans on getting any bigger than I am now. I'm pretty content with the 4. I just built it a little bigger, so I had just a little bit more room for everything.
Okay. You don't haul any hazardous materials at all, then?
Absolutely not. Nope.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
This is Bob. I don't have any questions.
This is David. I guess I would just add to some of Dan's comments that, typically when variance requests come through, the board takes them on a case-by-case basis. We do need to be cognizant of the fact that, what we are doing could set a precedent going forward for these types of requests and county actions going forward. We feel, the staff feel very confident in making this recommendation for a couple of reasons. Dan mentioned that the county comprehensive plan showed this area on our future land use map as an area that would be transitional agriculture. And we looked up that definition, and it was suggesting that transition would lead towards a residential development. In the last 4 to 5 years, there has been some changes on the corner in that neighborhood there on Highway 20. Some land was purchased by the Dollar General store, and the current landowner is interested in putting a large piece of that land into development. He's not quite sure what that might look like, but with the existing county limited industrial zoning districts already out there, we didn't really feel like it was a spot zone. And so with the cluster of mixed use in that neighborhood, on a paved highway, with no, real issues with access or creating dust or an increase in traffic. And then also with the city of Correctionville, their future land use map shows it actually being an area that they think that they will grow and annex. And they also believe or prefer to zone that area for light industrial. And their uses match up pretty well with what our definition for light industrial means. And so it's one of those situations where everything kind of, it just fits really well. And so that's really why we're coming forward with this recommendation to approve.
Okay. Any other comments? Do we have a motion to close the hearing?
I would so
make
move.
a
This
motion.
is Pam.
This is Bob. I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and second discussion. Okay, we'll go ahead and vote. Bob Roulette,
Aye.
Pam Miller,
You mean Clark?
Clark, sorry.
Aye.
Daniel Hare,
Aye.
Ashley Christensen,
Aye.
and Tom Thiessen.
Aye.
Motion to close the meeting complete. Meeting closed.
To close the meeting or to approve the
Public hearing.
variance?
That was close the public hearing. Now, if you wanted to entertain a motion to approve or deny the request.
Typically, we have a lot of, or a few recommendations to go along with this. Everything seems to be pretty much so, straightforward. There's not a lot of oddities or different things on this particular request. And you guys have addressed all of those, so there's not really any reason to add any language, is there?
Not really. I mean, what's nice about this, with this particular request, Bob, is that changing the zoning district would actually put it all in compliance with setbacks and so forth. And then it, Correctionville has already said it would fit perfectly with their setbacks. And so the site plan itself is, it works well in this particular zoning district.
Good. It's nice to have something straightforward and smooth.
I think we all kind of got lucky on this one. It was a good
Yeah,
fit. No, it was a
like
good fit, and I'm pretty confident that Dustin's gonna make a go of it, and hopefully he'll be expanding, and we'll see that whole neighborhood change into a mix of commercial and light industrial. I'm excited about it.
Well, if there's nobody else has any comments, I don't know if it's a time to make a motion to approve or not, but I'd make that motion if it was.
This is Ashley. I'd second that motion.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second to approve this variance for the reduced lot size. Do we have any discussion? Okay, ready to vote? All right, Bob Roulette,
Aye.
Pam Clark,
Aye.
Daniel Hare,
Aye.
Ashley Christensen,
Aye.
Tom Thiessen.
Aye.
Okay, the motion passes to approve this variance request to allow Dustin Steinecke to use the lot size at 1.59 acres instead of the 3 acres as required by the limited industrial zoning district. So motion passes and approved.
Okay.
I'd like to wish you
All right.
good luck.
Congratulations,
Dustin,
Dustin.
it's always nice to see a little growth going on.
Yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. You have no idea.
Well,
Oh,
the
good
staff
luck.
is, over and over again, the staff really goes above and beyond to make everything work when they can. So, like to thank you
absolutely.
guys, all three of you, for working on that and taking care of it. You make our jobs easy.
Right.
Hey, we're all pulling for them.
Okay. Okay. Is there any public comment on matters not on the agenda? Most likely no.
It looks
Did
like
you
there's,
have anything else, Dan?
yeah, I don't have anything. I don't hear any comments from the public either.
You know, folks, we will probably continue to meet electronically based on local public health guidelines and recommendations. And we'll work with the chair and the vice chair on a month-by-month, case-by-case basis. And, you know, if there's the ability or the interest to meet in person, I'm sure we can find some space where we can, you know, meet the governor's requirements for social distancing, if that's an option that people would be interested in. The phone call-in method, I would say, is probably the best or the easiest, just because if you do it online through Teams, there's internet issues, internet speed, crashing, freezing, that kind of stuff. And we were initially only using it really to record, but we're set up to record our phone calls as well. So the only thing that you're missing electronic or, you know, through the online is, you know, your packets are all, you have all the information, I guess. So I think if we do have to meet electronically, doing it over the phone is probably going to be the best way to do it for folks. Make it easier for everyone.
It works for me. I like
Outside,
meeting in person because I get a chance to see everybody. But other than that, the meetings go pretty fast this way, so I have no problem with going this way.
No, unless we'd have a real complicated one, I think this is working fine.
okay. Well, that's all that we have from Dan and myself, unless any of the commission or directors have any other comments or questions for us. We'll let you go.
I thought everything went smooth and was very well organized.
Right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Thank you. Thank you.
This is Pam. I move to adjourn.
This is Daniel Hare. I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and second to adjourn. Discussion. Otherwise, go ahead and vote. Bob Brulette,
Aye.
Pam Clark,
Aye.
Daniel Hare,
Aye.
Ashley Christensen,
Aye.
Tom Thiessen.
Aye.
Okay, it looks like we're adjourned.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. Have a good evening. We'll be in touch.
Happy
Okay.
New Year, everybody. Talk to you later.
Thanks again,
Okay.
everyone.